Today, cancer is one of the leading causes of death worldwide, and numerous studies have shown that nutrition plays a crucial role in either the development or prevention of this disease. According to experts, our daily diet can have a significant impact on our health, particularly in terms of increasing cancer risk. Through his renowned research and works, Dr. Colin Campbell has provided evidence of the close connection between diet and cancer risk. Dr. Colin Campbell is one of the foremost scientists in the field of nutrition, with over 50 years of in-depth research on the link between diet and human health. He is an emeritus professor of nutritional biochemistry at Cornell University and has made significant contributions to understanding how nutrition affects the development and prevention of chronic diseases, especially cancer. His most prominent work, the China Study, is considered one of the most comprehensive and influential studies in the history of nutritional science. Based on data collected from thousands of people in China, this study demonstrated a strong connection between a diet rich in animal-based foods and an increase in chronic diseases, including cancer. Throughout his career, Dr. Campbell has challenged many traditional views on nutrition, particularly the role of animal protein in the diet. He emphasizes that a plant-based diet not only helps improve health, but can also prevent and even reverse chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. His views have transformed our understanding of the relationship between food and illness, making him an important advocate for encouraging a healthy lifestyle through diet. With over 300 published scientific articles and his presence in numerous documentaries on nutrition, Dr. Campbell has made a significant contribution to raising awareness about the role of diet in cancer prevention. His viewpoints and research have not only captured the attention of scientists, but have also sparked a large movement encouraging plant-based food consumption. He has particularly focused on clarifying the role of animal-based foods and unbalanced diets in increasing disease risk. In this essay, we will examine and analyze 10 types of foods that, according to Dr. Campbell and other studies, may contribute to an increased risk of cancer. These foods include not only familiar products like red meat and processed foods, but also less obvious factors such as alcoholic beverages, sugary foods, and fried dishes. The goal of this essay is not only to list these foods, but also to explain the mechanisms by which they may be linked to cancer risk, while emphasizing the importance of adjusting our diet to protect our health more comprehensively. 1. Processed meat. Examples. Familiar types of processed meat include sausages, bacon, salami, ham, and cold cuts. These meats are treated with methods such as salting, drying, or using preservatives to extend shelf life. Preservatives and health impact. During processing, these meats are often treated with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites to retain color and prevent bacterial growth. However, when exposed to high temperatures, e.g., during cooking, these compounds can convert into nitrosamines, which are known to be strong carcinogens. Numerous studies have indicated that prolonged exposure to nitrosamines can increase the risk of cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. Research and conclusion by Dr. Campbell. In his research, Dr. Colin Campbell focused on the health impact of processed meats and concluded that regular consumption of these foods is closely linked to an increased cancer risk. Dr. Campbell emphasizes that a diet rich in plant-based foods while limiting processed meats can significantly reduce cancer risk. He also highlighted that preservatives like nitrates and nitrites not only affect the digestive system, but can also have negative effects on other organs in the body. Recommendation. According to Dr. Campbell's advice, reducing or completely eliminating processed meats from the daily diet is an effective way to lower cancer risk. Instead, he recommends consuming more leafy greens, whole grains, and unprocessed plant-based foods. 2. Red meat. Examples. Red meat is an important part of many people's diets and includes meats from animals such as beef, lamb, and pork. These meats are consumed in various forms, from grilled, fried, to stewed, and serve as a source of protein, iron, and other nutrients. Impact on cancer risk. According to many studies, consuming too much red meat, especially when cooked at high temperatures such as grilling or frying, can increase the risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal and pancreatic cancer. High temperature cooking methods produce heterocyclic amines HCAS and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons PAS compounds proven to damage DNA and lead to cancer. Additionally, heme iron, a type of iron found in red meat, can promote oxidation in the body and damage the intestinal lining, increasing the risk of colorectal cancer. Furthermore, the digestion of red meat generates various chemicals and enzymes that can negatively affect the digestive system, promoting the growth of cancer cells. Dr. Campbell's perspective. In his research, Dr. Colin Campbell concluded that consuming red meat, especially as part of a diet rich in animal protein, is closely linked to an increased risk of various cancers. According to him, red meat is not only a source of protein and fat, but also carries other risk factors that can lead to cancer. He argues that a diet high in red meat tends to increase inflammation in the body and may weaken the immune system, leading to the development of chronic diseases, including cancer. Comparison with a plant-based diet. One of Dr. Campbell's main recommendations is a plant-based diet, rich in vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, which can significantly reduce cancer risk. He believes that plant-based proteins are less likely to cause inflammation and do not contain harmful compounds like heme iron or HCAs, thereby protecting the body from cancer cell development. Recommendation. According to Dr. Campbell, instead of consuming red meat frequently, individuals should switch to plant-based protein sources like beans, nuts, and whole grains. Limiting red meat consumption not only helps reduce cancer risk, but also benefits overall health, including lowering the risk of heart disease and diabetes. 3. Fried foods. Examples. Common fried foods include French fries, fried chicken, fried fish, and many other fast food items. These dishes are often fried in oil at very high temperatures, delivering appealing flavors but also posing significant health risks. Risk from acrylamide. One of the harmful substances that can form during high temperature frying is acrylamide. This chemical compound naturally forms when starchy foods such as potatoes are cooked at temperatures above 120 degrees C, especially during frying, grilling, or roasting. Numerous studies have shown that acrylamide can cause DNA mutations and has been classified as a potential human carcinogen. Impact of acrylamide on cancer risk. Animal studies have shown that acrylamide can cause various cancers, including kidney, lung, and liver cancer. Although more research is needed to confirm the exact link in humans, scientists warn that long-term exposure to acrylamide may negatively impact health. Dr. Campbell's perspective. Dr. Colin Campbell has warned about the dangers of consuming too much fried food, not only because they are high in saturated fats and calories, but also because high temperature cooking can produce compounds like acrylamide. He believes that this is one of the factors contributing to higher cancer rates among those who consume large amounts of fried foods and fast food. In addition to acrylamide, fried foods can also create other carcinogenic compounds, such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons PAS and heterocyclic amines HCAS, which are formed when protein-rich foods are cooked at high temperatures. Link between acrylamide and cancer in Dr. Campbell's research. In his nutrition research, Dr. Campbell has shown that a diet frequently involving fried foods is associated with a higher cancer rate. He emphasizes that beyond chemical factors like acrylamide, fried foods often contain high levels of unhealthy fats, which contribute to increased cholesterol and create favorable conditions for cancer cell development. Recommendation. Dr. Campbell recommends that to minimize cancer risk, we should limit the consumption of fried foods. Instead, healthier cooking methods such as boiling, steaming, or baking at lower temperatures should be prioritized. He also emphasizes the importance of consuming more plant-based foods as they do not contain carcinogens produced during high-temperature cooking. 4. Alcoholic beverages. Examples. Alcoholic beverages include drinks like beer, wine, spirits, and other types of alcoholic drinks. They are quite common in daily life and social culture, but regular consumption can lead to numerous health problems, especially cancer. Impact of alcohol on cancer risk. Dr. Colin Campbell and many other studies have shown that alcoholic beverages are directly linked to several types of cancer, particularly liver cancer, throat cancer, mouth cancer, and breast cancer. When alcohol is metabolized in the body, it produces acetaldehyde, a toxic compound that can damage DNA and hinder cell regeneration, leading to the uncontrolled growth of cancer cells. Liver cancer. Alcohol has a significant impact on the liver, as it is the primary organ responsible for metabolizing and detoxifying alcohol. Long-term excessive alcohol consumption can damage the liver, leading to cirrhosis and increasing the risk of liver cancer. Throat and mouth cancer. Alcohol weakens the lining of the mouth and throat, making it easier for carcinogens, such as chemicals from tobacco, to penetrate and attack cells. This increases the risk of developing mouth and throat cancer. Breast cancer. In women, studies have shown that alcohol consumption raises estrogen levels in the body, which in turn increases the risk of developing breast cancer. The connection between alcohol and breast cancer has been confirmed by numerous epidemiological studies, showing that even small amounts of alcohol can elevate this risk. Dr. Campbell's perspective. Dr. Campbell believes that frequent and high levels of alcohol consumption are among the primary factors contributing to cancer risk. In many of his writings and studies, he emphasizes that alcohol not only affects the liver and digestive organs, but also weakens the immune system and increases inflammation, which facilitates the development of cancer cells. Dr. Campbell's recommendation. According to Dr. Campbell, to reduce cancer risk, consumers should limit alcohol intake as much as possible or, preferably, avoid it entirely. He also notes that for those looking to improve overall health, cutting back on alcohol is one of the simplest changes with the most significant benefits. By reducing or eliminating alcohol consumption, individuals can not only lower their cancer risk, but also improve cardiovascular health, reduce obesity, and prevent many other chronic diseases. 5. Sugary foods. Examples. Sugary foods include cakes, candies, sugary drinks, soda, ice cream, and various processed foods with high sugar content. Sugar is present not only in sweet treats, but also in many industrial products as refined sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Impact of sugar on cancer risk. Consuming excessive sugar not only leads to issues like obesity and type 2 diabetes, but also increases the risk of various cancers, according to Dr. Colin Campbell. One significant factor is obesity, a condition scientifically linked to many cancers, including breast, uterine, colon, and kidney cancer. Increased insulin production. When consuming high-sugar foods, the body boosts insulin production to convert sugar into energy. However, consistently high insulin levels can create a favorable environment for cancer cell growth, as insulin is a potent growth hormone. High insulin levels can also raise insulin, like growth factor 1 IGF-1, a compound associated with cancer development. Chronic inflammation. High sugar intake can cause chronic inflammation in the body, and long-term inflammation is considered a factor that promotes the formation and growth of cancer cells. Sugar can also disrupt the balance of insulin and glucose in the blood, leading to fat accumulation and increased cancer risk. Chronic inflammation. High sugar intake can cause chronic inflammation in the body, and long-term inflammation is considered a factor that promotes the formation and growth of cancer cells. Sugar can also disrupt the balance of insulin and glucose in the blood, leading to fat accumulation and increased cancer risk. Dr. Campbell's view on sugary foods and disease. Dr. Campbell emphasizes that consuming excessive sugar, especially from sugary drinks and processed foods, is a major cancer risk factor. He notes that the amount of sugar in modern diets often exceeds what is necessary, potentially worsening many chronic illnesses. Additionally, sugary foods often lack essential nutrients, which makes it harder for the body to maintain a healthy immune system. Dr. Campbell also points out that consuming foods high in refined sugar doesn't provide sufficient fiber or antioxidants, which play a crucial role in protecting the body from cancer cell attacks. He encourages a diet rich in complex carbohydrates from whole grains and plant-based foods instead of consuming refined sugar to help stabilize blood sugar levels and reduce inflammation risk. Dr. Campbell's recommendation to lower the risk of cancer. Dr. Campbell advises that we should limit sugar consumption as much as possible, especially sugar from industrial food sources. He suggests replacing sugary drinks and sweet snacks with fresh fruits, whole grains, and plant-based foods. This approach not only helps maintain stable blood sugar levels, but also provides the body with essential fiber and nutrients. 6. Grilled or charred foods. Examples: common grilled or charred foods include grilled meat, fish, and chicken, especially when cooked over charcoal or direct flame. Cooking at high temperatures can impart a distinctive flavor but also produces dangerous chemical compounds. Formation of carcinogenic compounds. When protein-rich foods like meat and fish are grilled or charred at high temperatures, two major carcinogenic compounds can form: heterocyclic amines HCAS and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons PAHs. Heterocyclic amines HCAS. These compounds are formed when amino acids and creatine in muscle react to high temperatures. Many studies have shown that HCAs can damage DNA, leading to cell mutations and increasing cancer risk. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons PAHs. PAHs are produced when fat drips from the meat onto the charcoal or heat source, creating smoke that contains PAHs, which then adhere to the surface of the meat. PAHs have been proven to cause DNA mutations and are a significant contributor to the increased risk of cancers such as colorectal, stomach, and pancreatic cancer. Dr. Campbell's research on risks from grilled foods. Dr. Colin Campbell has pointed out that a diet high in grilled or charred foods significantly raises cancer risk. He emphasizes that cooking at high temperatures, especially with direct flame contact, can create harmful chemical compounds, increasing cancer risk not only for regular consumers but also for those who frequently eat animal meat in general. In his view, the combination of consuming large amounts of animal meat and cooking at high temperatures is a dangerous mix that accelerates cancer cell formation. Dr. Campbell's recommendation. Dr. Campbell recommends that to reduce cancer risk, people should limit cooking at high temperatures and avoid charring foods, especially meats. He suggests adopting healthier cooking methods such as steaming, boiling, or cooking at lower temperatures to avoid producing harmful compounds. Additionally, he encourages a diet rich in plant-based foods as they do not generate HCAs or PAHs when cooked. Measures to minimize risk. To reduce the risk associated with grilled or charred foods, Dr. Campbell and other experts recommend the following. Avoid charring. Try to avoid burning or overly charring food. If the meat is charred, remove the burned parts before eating. Grill at lower temperatures. Grill foods at lower temperatures and use gas or electric grills instead of charcoal. Increase vegetable grilling. Opt for grilling more vegetables instead of meat, as vegetables do not produce HCAs or PAHs when cooked. 7. Fast foods and processed foods. Examples: fast foods and processed foods include items like pizza, French fries, hamburgers, fried chicken, and canned or frozen foods. These products are often prepared quickly, convenient, and readily available, but they contain high levels of saturated fats, salt, sugar, and other preservatives. Harmful ingredients in fast foods and processed foods. Saturated fats and trans fats. These fats are commonly found in fast foods, especially fried items and industrially processed dishes. Consuming large amounts of saturated fats and trans fats can increase bad cholesterol LDL levels, leading to cardiovascular problems and increasing the risk of cancer, particularly colorectal and breast cancer. High salt content. Fast foods and processed foods often contain a lot of salt to enhance flavor and extend shelf life. Excessive salt intake can cause high blood pressure and damage the digestive system, increasing the risk of stomach cancer. Preservatives and food additives. Processed foods frequently contain chemical preservatives such as nitrites, nitrates, and sulfites. When exposed to high temperatures or acidic conditions in the stomach, these substances can form carcinogenic compounds like nitrosamines. Long-term health impact and cancer risk. According to Dr. Colin Campbell, a diet based on fast foods and processed foods not only contributes to obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease, but also increases the risk of various cancers. Ingredients in processed foods, such as trans fats and preservatives, can cause chronic inflammation in the body, a factor believed to be associated with cancer cell development. Obesity and cancer. Fast foods and processed foods are often high in calories, leading to obesity, which is considered a risk factor for several cancers, such as postmenopausal breast cancer, colorectal cancer, and endometrial cancer. A diet high in calories, sugar, and saturated fats increases inflammation in the body, stimulating the growth of cancer cells. Dr. Campbell's perspective. Dr. Campbell has emphasized that consuming fast foods and processed foods not only weakens the immune system, but also creates an ideal environment for chronic diseases, including cancer. He points out that these foods lack essential nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants while being high in energy and harmful substances. Dr. Campbell recommends replacing processed foods with fresh, whole foods to provide the body with vital nutrients that help protect against cancer cell growth. Dr. Campbell's recommendation. Dr. Campbell encourages everyone to reduce their consumption of fast foods and processed foods. Instead, he suggests adopting a healthier diet with fresh foods, plant-based options, and whole grains to ensure the body receives adequate nutrients and minimize cancer-causing factors. Avoiding foods high in saturated fats, salt, and additives can help protect the body from many chronic diseases, including cancer. 8. Foods with chemical preservatives. Examples: foods containing chemical preservatives include processed meats such as sausages, cold cuts, bacon, canned fish, and various canned or packaged foods. Preservatives like nitrates, nitrites, and sulfites are commonly used in these foods to extend shelf life, enhance flavor, and maintain fresh color. Impact of chemical preservatives on cancer risk. Nitrates and nitrites. These are among the most common preservatives, especially in processed meats. In the body, nitrates can convert into nitrites, which then combine with free amines in the acidic environment of the stomach to form nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are compounds that have been proven to be potent carcinogens, particularly linked to stomach and colorectal cancer. Sulfites. This preservative is used to prevent oxidation and keep foods fresh longer, especially in products like wine, dried fruits, and some frozen foods. Although sulfites are not directly linked to causing cancer, they can cause other health problems, particularly for people who are sensitive or have respiratory conditions. The link between preservatives and stomach cancer. Many studies have shown that individuals who consume foods high in nitrates and nitrites have a higher risk of stomach cancer compared to those with a healthier diet. In countries where nitrate and nitrite use in food preservation is common, the rate of stomach cancer is often significantly higher. Dr. Campbell's view on chemical preservatives. Dr. Colin Campbell emphasizes that consuming foods with high levels of chemical preservatives, particularly nitrates and nitrites, is one of the factors leading to an increased risk of cancer, especially stomach and colorectal cancer. He points out that while these chemicals are necessary for extending the shelf life of foods, they pose serious health risks. According to him, a diet high in industrially processed foods containing many preservatives not only raises cancer risk, but also negatively impacts the digestive system as a whole. Dr. Campbell's recommendation. Dr. Campbell advises that to reduce cancer risk, we should limit the consumption of foods containing chemical preservatives, especially processed meats. Instead, he suggests switching to a diet rich in fresh vegetables, whole grains, and organic foods, those that are not industrially processed and do not contain harmful preservatives. He also emphasizes that choosing natural, unprocessed foods without chemical preservatives is an essential preventive measure for protecting long-term health. 9. Genetically modified foods GMO. 9. Genetically modified foods GMO. Health concerns related to GMOs. One of the biggest concerns about GMO foods is their potential to cause health issues, including cancer risk. Studies indicate that altering the genetic structure of crops can lead to the creation of new proteins or compounds that do not exist in traditional foods, which can cause allergic reactions or have negative effects on human health. Additionally, some people worry that GMO foods may contribute to cancer cell development due to their potential to cause mutations in the bodies of consumers. Dr. Colin Campbell's perspective on GMOs. Dr. Campbell has expressed concerns about consuming genetically modified foods, particularly due to the lack of long-term data on their effects on human health. Although there is no conclusive evidence that GMOs directly cause cancer, Dr. Campbell believes that more independent, long-term research is needed to evaluate the impact of GMOs. He also highlights that using chemicals like glyphosate, a commonly used herbicide with GMO crops, can pose health risks, including cancer. Dependence on herbicides and potential risks. Another concern related to GMOs is the heavy use of herbicides such as glyphosate. Some GMO crops have been modified to be resistant to glyphosate, allowing farmers to use large quantities of the herbicide without harming the plants. However, glyphosate has been classified by many health organizations, including the International Agency for Research on Cancer (IARC), as a probable human carcinogen. Exposure to glyphosate in foods can have adverse health effects, particularly for farmers and consumers who frequently come into contact with this chemical. Related research. Despite many concerns about GMOs, the scientific community has not reached a consensus on the link between GMOs and cancer. Some studies suggest that GMO foods are safe, and there is no direct evidence that they cause cancer in humans. However, independent studies on the long-term effects of GMOs on health are still limited, leading many, including Dr. Campbell, to believe that further research is necessary. Dr. Campbell's recommendation. Dr. Campbell advises consumers to be cautious with GMO foods and to prioritize organic, non-GMO options. He believes that the lack of long-term studies and the widespread use of harmful chemicals in GMO agriculture are important factors to consider. He also encourages people to focus on a diet rich in plant-based foods that are not genetically modified to ensure the best health outcomes and reduce the risk of chronic diseases. 10. Soda and sugary drinks. Examples: soda, carbonated soft drinks, and sugary beverages are very popular and widely consumed worldwide. These drinks typically contain high amounts of sugar, often in the form of refined sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Not only do these beverages have high calorie content, but they also lack essential nutrients. The link between sugary drinks and obesity. Sugary drinks are one of the leading causes of obesity, a major risk factor for many types of cancer, including colorectal, breast, and liver cancer. Consuming sugary drinks increases calorie intake without providing any nutrients, making it easy for the body to accumulate excess fat. Obesity not only leads to cardiovascular problems and diabetes, but is also closely related to cancer due to increased chronic inflammation and hormonal imbalances. Increased insulin levels and cancer risk. When consuming soda and carbonated drinks, blood sugar levels rise rapidly, prompting the body to produce insulin to regulate sugar levels. Prolonged high insulin levels can create an environment that encourages the growth of cancer cells, particularly those related to breast, uterine, and pancreatic cancer. Dr. Colin Campbell has pointed out that sudden spikes in insulin and glucose not only contribute to chronic conditions like diabetes, but also facilitate the formation and growth of tumors. Cancer risk linked to soda consumption. Research has shown that regularly consuming soda and sugary drinks can be associated with an increased risk of various cancers. Esophageal cancer, for instance, has been linked to excessive soda consumption, as the carbonic acid in soda can damage the esophageal lining. Additionally, sugary drinks increase the risk of colorectal cancer due to fat accumulation and hormonal imbalances in the body. Phosphoric acid and additives. Soda contains phosphoric acid, which enhances the acidity and unique flavor of the drink. However, excessive consumption of this acid can harm bones and the digestive system, leading to health issues related to bones and digestion, which may increase the risk of stomach cancer. Dr. Colin Campbell's perspective on sugary drinks. Dr. Campbell has pointed out that a diet high in sugar, particularly with soda and sugary beverages, is one of the factors contributing to increased obesity rates and related cancers. He emphasizes that sugary drinks not only provide empty calories but also induce changes in the body that can lead to chronic diseases. Dr. Campbell strongly recommends that people eliminate or significantly reduce their consumption of such drinks, opting instead for water, green tea, or natural fruit juices without added sugar. Dr. Campbell's recommendation. According to Dr. Campbell, eliminating soda and sugary drinks from the daily diet is a crucial step in cancer prevention. He suggests switching to healthier options such as water, unsweetened herbal teas, and fruit juices. He also advises avoiding drinks with artificial sweeteners as they may be linked to certain health risks. Summary of cancer risk foods. In this essay, we have analyzed 10 types of foods that pose a potential cancer risk based on the research and views of Dr. Colin Campbell. These foods include processed meats, red meat, fried foods, alcoholic beverages, sugary foods, grilled or charred foods, fast foods and processed foods, foods with chemical preservatives, genetically modified foods, and soda and other sugary drinks. Each type of food carries specific risks, ranging from the formation of carcinogenic compounds during cooking to the negative impact of preservatives and chemical additives. However, it's important to emphasize that the risk of developing cancer is not solely dependent on the type of food, but also on the amount consumed, cooking methods, and overall lifestyle. Maintaining a balanced diet rich in vegetables, whole grains, and plant-based foods, along with a healthy lifestyle that includes regular physical activity and avoiding bad habits like smoking and alcohol consumption, are practical measures to reduce cancer risk. Recommendations based on Dr. Campbell's perspective. Based on the research and insights of Dr. Colin Campbell, one of the most important recommendations for reducing cancer risk is to adopt a plant-based diet. Dr. Campbell has shown that consuming plant-based foods such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes not only provides the necessary nutrients for the body, but also helps minimize exposure to carcinogens commonly found in animal-based and processed foods. He emphasizes that limiting the intake of meat, especially red meat and processed meat, along with avoiding foods high in sugar, saturated fats, and chemical preservatives, are key factors in a health protection strategy. Additionally, he advises avoiding alcoholic beverages and limiting sugary drinks to manage the risk of obesity and chronic diseases associated with cancer. Dr. Campbell also encourages readers to focus on a natural and healthy diet, steer clear of industrially processed foods, and prioritize fresh, whole foods. By making these small but important changes in our diet, we can not only reduce the risk of cancer but also improve overall health, helping our bodies become healthier and more resilient in the long run.